going to look at here is how the body deals with water. Right, you've got to learn this word, osmoregulation. Right, we're going to look at this scenario. Right, but first of all, you've got to know this name, antidiuretic hormone, ADH. It's released at the base of the brain by a gland called the pituitary gland. Right, it's pituitary, it's an A, not an O, pituitary gland. Right, so try to picture this. There's your head. There are your kidneys. So now this is the scenario. You go from a cold place to hot place. You're walking around and you are dehydrated. So you've lost water. So now this is what happens. There's in your brain, in the hypothalamus, there's cells, that receptor cells that detect the blood concentration levels. Right, if the blood is too thick because you've lost a load of water, what happens? It sends a signal to at the base of the brain. There's a little gland called the pituitary gland. What happens is they sense that you've got low water levels or your blood concentration's high. They send a signal to the pituitary glands, which secretes or releases antidiuretic hormone into the blood. Now that travels down to the kidneys. It goes to the, right, let's use this word, collecting ducts in the kidneys and makes them more permeable. Okay, so it makes them more permeable. What does that mean? More water is absorbed back into the blood. What effect does this have? And you've got to put all this in. It's important you put all this in. This makes the blood thinner or less concentrated, and makes the urine more concentrated. So basically what's happened is it's pulled water back. So that's when your urine tends to be darker yellow. So let's go through that. let's just quickly summarize that. Okay, the body controls the water inside by osmoregulation. There's a hormone that you should know. It's called antidiuretic hormone, ADH for short. It's released by the pituitary gland, which is in the base of the brain. Right, so just say for argument's sake you're dehydrated, you've lost water because you've gone from a cold place to a hot place, you've been walking about and you're losing water, you're sweating. The cells in the hypothalamus detect that your blood concentration levels have gone up, so it tells the pituitary gland, sends a signal, which then secretes or releases ADH into the blood. It's a hormone, antidiuretic hormone. That travels in the blood and it goes to the collecting ducts in the kidneys, and makes these more permeable. If something is permeable, it allows things through, so it'll pull back water into the blood. So then what that means that there's more water that's being absorbed, and right, let's finish this off. There's been more water that's been absorbed back into the blood. This makes the blood less concentrated and the urine more concentrated, and that's how that works. And then once your blood concentration levels normal, a signal, what color can we use? Let's use that. No, let's use that. So a signal then goes back to the brain to say, look, stop producing, your water levels are normal, stop producing antidiuretic hormone. So it sends a signal to the pituitary gland to say stop, and that's how it works. That's the negative feedback loop. Okay, that's how it should be. So just learn those steps. Yeah, so if you're sweating, this is what happens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Just learn those word for word.